that say, Sam?
What's that say, Sam?
We can't read it, bud.
Oh, he can't.
Shit. We're never going to know.
Sam's got to step out and take care of some business. So he's not quite stepped out yet, and I got to make sure my little stand isn't going to fall. Hence why you're looking at my palm. Okay, so jump over to the pickaxe. Jacob, when you get there, Frank and Peter, they've already found a seat.
And there's like full thing.
Walk up to them, and I'm just doing like this.
Peter sees you walk in, just like.
I need context, you two.
Frank goes, okay, just sit down. We things are a little bit deeper. Okay, so you know how we had to deal with all those ghosts?
Yes.
Long story short, there's other types of spirits, like, spirit of the wind, spirit of the wolf, that kind of thing. And shit's gotten really deep, man. And apparently werewolves are wanting to help us out.
Yeah, werewolves are real, and they met the ghost of Skunk Ape.
Well, you know what? Of course. You know what? Here's the thing, you two. That, unfortunately, isn't the most alarming thing that I've heard in the last hour. What was really the most concerning thing is that two associates of mine not only are telling me they're about to commit a felony, but are asking me to help them with it. So let's skip to the part where the werewolves and the Pocahontas spirits of the wind and all this other shit has anything to do with you about to break in somewhere.
Jacob, Pocahontas was in Disney animated.
Peter, are you wanting to do this?
Well, Frank goes, if it helps, one of the werewolves is a cop, so cops don't prosecute their own. At which point, the pig, the pig has fallen.
The pig is not a pig; it is a sheep.
Also, do you guys see Garrett? Did I lose Garrett?
I can still see him.
Here,
Garrett's, yeah,
he appears to be there.
What the hell? Okay, hold on a moment. Okay, there we go. Okay. At which point, coming into the pickaxe, we won't even roll for that. You recognize the cop. Young, fairly tall Asian guy. Name's Alex Park, Korean American, and really gnarly looking, older, just looks like a gangbanger, honestly. Just covered, shaved head, covered in tats, spiderweb tattoo on the top of his head. But Park, he's in civilian attire. He is not in uniform. And he looks at you and he goes, "You're the attorney with the billboard on the side of the road."
Yeah, that's a lot of attorneys, but I'm Jacob, Officer Park. We've seen each other in court a few times.
Yeah, they say you're pretty tenacious.
I'm just meeting the bar being a zealous advocate. Nothing.
By the way, from what you hear, Park is he's pretty straight laced. He's not from the county, but pretty by the book. No nonsense, but sympathetic, that kind of thing. Like, he's not a dick,
Yeah.
And he goes, "Okay, so I guess at this point we've met the whole crew. I guess you have questions. You haven't been here. You haven't been with the rest of the group for a while. They say you've been handling the whole case that I unfortunately had to arrest him for, even though I kind of knew nothing was happening. What, man, freaking, okay, so Zach Wilson, the freaking sheriff's son, he's my freaking partner. He freaking arrested him. So, sorry. Yeah, so, yeah, do you have any questions?"
Are you in on this whole alleged conspiracy to enter someone's domicile, Officer Park?
Yeah, I kind of am.
Why?
He's a wolf cop.
He kind of looks over at you, like kind of cocks his head, and he's like, "Yeah, don't say that so loud." he says, "Yeah, okay, so Geek, he's more than he appears, and I don't know. Me and Clancy over here, we don't think that you guys might be in way over your head if you go in there guns ablazing. I mean, long story short, he's no longer who he once was. He's got something living inside of him controlling his body. That's the easiest way of saying it. And he's trying to make the entire town really sick and bring in a lot of bad things."
Well, I had begun investigating this well before y'all came in, and this is what I've uncovered. I'm not sure what Peter, Frank, or the rest of the crew have told you, but I actually went over to Geek's trailer a while back. And, on a small little undercover jaunt, went in as a buyer for whatever he was pushing. Noticed that the place was near immaculate. There were 3 individuals there, Geek, a large gentleman that went by Bubba, and a female minor. I'd say she's about 17 at the eldest, goes by the name Mercy or Mercedes. They sold me, which I guess now is what they're calling, the sickness, this stuff. I have not ingested it. I still have the sample that, Geek gave to me. And just yesterday, Mercedes came to my office. She said that Bubba...
Really?
She said that Bubba and Geek had been gone for a couple days, but when they came back, they looked different. Their piercings were gone. They were talking to her in a very different kind of way. Said that she feared for her life and wasn't sure what to do. So I gave her my contact information. She gave me hers. I told her do not go back to Geek's trailer under any circumstances. That she needed to tell her dad a little bit about what was happening. Just not the full story, but basically to keep an eye out for Bubba and Geek and to call me if anything happened. Well, she sent a text to me today pretty much saying that Geek is demanding that she come back to the trailer or that her dad is going to be hurt. Tried calling her, went straight to voicemail after a few calls.
Oh,
that was right before Peter called me, telling me he was wanting to break in somewhere.
Look at that. Jakob already went and investigated. I guess we don't have to break in. What a shame. Anybody want hummus?
Bart goes, I really hope that's not the same hummus from like 3 days ago.
Peter just stares.
He goes, well, so you might have noticed that a couple of your group isn't here. So
hey, where is Beryl at?
Well, Beryl and Jeb. So Geek is okay. So one of our people found out that he's throwing a real banger over at Boxcar Ridge, pretty much right where.
God.
Yeah, pretty much. But here's the thing: one, it was pretty much right on top of where Jeb and Peter and Frank got arrested, where they saw the Deer Man. Did they tell you about the Deer Man?
A little bit, yes.
Okay. Yeah, pretty much right on top of that whole area. But they're throwing this big banger, and they're going there to try and scout any kind of information, maybe find out more information about the drugs. But apparently his trailer is completely unattended.
That seems very odd for Geek if he's trying to push an operation that basically his command center, assumedly, that means he's operating out of some other location then.
Well, we could probably find some clues there, but, you guys are... You guys don't recover as fast as we do. We're basically, we could basically act as some muscle, You guys are trying to do your... Whatever it is you're doing, it's admirable. but we have a stake in this too. The stuff he's trying to do, it's upsetting our territory.
Yeah, because you werewolves have a thing for trying to basically be like wardens of spirits and stuff, correct?
He's like, yes, indeed, actually.
I look over at Peter and I'm like, I've read some books too.
Oh, shit.
He goes,
Peter's
yeah,
still
that's pretty much it. Clancy, he pipes up and he reaches over and gets a tortilla and dips it in your hummus and takes it. He's like, that stuff's pretty good. Tastes like a garbanzo bean.
So what tribe are y'all from? The get a Fenris, Glasswalkers? What are y'all?
He says, well, that kind of stuff is what we call the old way.
The old way.
Yeah, this new stuff. That's from the old edition. We'll put it that way.
Okay.
Forget everything you know. This ain't your granddaddy's werewolves. He goes, we'll discuss that at a later time.
Fair enough. Well, so I mean, I guess to try to like maybe put my foot in my own mouth here, like, why do you need us at this point?
Well, as we told Peter and Frank and the others, if we handle it, things can get really, really messy. And there's strengths that regular people have that we don't necessarily, and we don't want the body count getting too high, if that makes any sense. I mean,
Naturally.
yeah, I mean, you guys are, are the survivors of that whole thing in the apartment complex. I mean, how many people died? Like 20?
Yeah, about that.
Yeah, this could be bigger, and that's just from us trying to clean up everything afterwards. There have been instances where hosts took things just a little too far, and I mean, there's rumors that the fire of London was caused by something similar to a host going crazy. It happens. There are stories that the Black Death came about because of something very similar to whatever's taken over Geek.
Well, I mean, if anything, in trying to assist my own client, like Rat, I feel compelled that I really have no choice but to go over and take a look. And seeing as you obviously are part of the police, then, it'd be kind of like a snake eating its tail if I didn't come.
He's like, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I don't necessarily like the idea of like hiding evidence or anything, but I mean,
y'all don't mind too much about doing it.
He's like, well, you know what? I try to stay. I try to stay away from that as much as possible. But at the same time, what am I going to write a report on that? A guy's heart got eaten out by a rat, and now he's trying to poison the town.
I agree. I agree.
Clancy chimes in. He goes, street justice, more or less, for spirits.
So do we really have to do this?
Frank goes, well, we don't really have to do anything, but we're kind of in too deep. And I mean, think of it this way, Peter. I mean, think of all the crazy stuff you might be able to find in a crazy, creepy, possessed spirit guy's apartment, trailer, whatever it is.
Peter just kind of sighs and shakes his head.
I mean, if it gives you any like comfort, Peter, I mean, a lot of the stuff that I've been hearing from like Rat, my client, the stuff that I've seen, like this could be like a weird little like thinny spot, like an interdimensional sensitive area. So I would feel like you would want to go just to be immersed in that environment.
Well, I do enjoy more of the cryptozoological type things, but it's more
think
of
of all the weird shit that might crawl into this realm in such an area.
You see Park look at you and just
So are we going then?
Sure.
I think we should.
Everybody gets up, hops in the back of Clancy's big old pickup truck and drives over. No, I'm going to assume.
Peter's very uncomfortable.
Yeah. You guys get over there. It's around the same time that the party is going on, so it's around night. You don't, you pull up to the trailer and you don't really, no lights are on or anything like that. Like, I mean, there's no cars in the pulled up in the driveway or anything like that. Just a regular old ramshackle trailer.
All right. Well, Park, you got any lock picks on you?
He's like, well, something like that. And he looks over at Clancy, and Clancy goes, "All right, I got it." And he walks over, and you see him take a small little bag out of his pocket. And he takes out a single, really thin, looks like the rib of a rat, like just a tiny little rodent. And you see him hold it, and you see him mutter something. It almost sounds like just a really soft murmur of a prayer. And he inserts it inside the keyhole and turns it, and then he takes out and just opens the door.
Nice trick.
He goes, "Oh, we got a couple of tricks up our sleeves." And he holds open the door and goes, "After you, gentlemen." And Park walks in. Frank walks in.
Peter, don't be touching anything quite yet.
No, I won't.
Peter, do you have your camera on you?
Yeah, I'm gonna say that this is more of an investigation, so he brought it with him.
Okay. Yeah, the lights are off. There's still power. If you guys want to turn on the lights, you can. If you want to just use your cell phones.
I'd say let's keep the lights off and use our cell phone flashlights.
Okay. You guys pull yours out. You notice that Park and Clancy, they don't bother. They just kind of walk around with like their noses kind of just up in the air, pretty much. Not like this, but just clearly picking up on things that maybe you guys wouldn't. Just on a glance, it's pretty much as you saw it, Jacob. It's clean, immaculate, even. Not a speck of grime. TV, no dust on it. The controllers on the PlayStation are actually like plugged in neatly underneath the television, not like strewn about. No cords anywhere. And Clancy goes, "Yeah, this is pretty fucked up."
What are you getting, Clancy?
He says, "Well, there's filth. There's a lot of it, but I mean, look at this place. Like he's like, my mom back in the day didn't keep a cleaner place."
Yeah. Well, what do you mean by filth?
He goes, "Well, oh, go on. You were going to say something here?" Oh no, that's some feedback coming on my end from my own voice. It sounded like you for a second there, Garrett. He goes, "Well, so this rat mouse spirit that's inhabiting him, we call it a Bechalou. They are plague harbingers. They wallow in filth and squalor and shit and mud and trash and anything else that is going to spread disease. And I can smell it. It's near, but I mean, this trailer's got what, maybe 4 rooms total?"
Yeah, I mean, if that. I mean, I guess what do you feel like we should be trying to look for right now?
Well, the thing is, even though there's basically the one, I guess Rat King would be a good term for it. There's always a bunch of them, but I'm not hearing anything. Are you hearing anything, Park? Park goes, "No, not hearing anything. They should be crawling in the walls or something."
I mean, best as y'all can determine, how long has it been since someone was here last?
They were here earlier today. We can
Okay.
pick that much out. But That's pretty much it.
Well, this isn't a large structure. Maybe we should look around a bit.
Okay. Would you like to roll investigation, Peter?
Sure.
So this is a nice little way to introduce Tyler to some of the new rules. So something hunters can do, if they choose, is they can do what's called risking willpower. Normally, you spend willpower to get like a bonus, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you risk willpower, you get the normal +3 extra dice, plus you get 2 other bonuses. There's a list on your choice. Most people tend to go with
9 again.
Yeah, you get instead of 10 again, where you get to reroll 10s, you get 9 again, which means you get to 9s and 10s get to be rerolled, so you can get even more chances. And there's also, like, instead of 5 successes being an exceptional success, 3 is an exceptional success.
Okay.
And if you succeed, you get that spent willpower point back. So it's as if you never spent it. However,
okay.
there's always a however. If you fail it, it's as if you dramatic failed it.
Oh. Well,
But you get 2 beats.
choices.
But yeah, if you want to investigate Mr. Quinn, you're more than welcome to. If you want to spend willpower, this is in regard to the hunt, so you could risk willpower if you wanted.
Nah.
I fucking got this. Yeah, no modifiers, just your straight investigation.
All right, that was a 10. 2 successes.
Okay, as you are, man, I'm getting some weird feedback on mine.
I'm hearing it too. It's not just you. I think, I don't know if somebody's like they're getting a little their speakers and then their mic is picking up.
Okay, well, that's fine. As long as it doesn't interfere with like the recording later. But yeah, as you're looking around, yeah, seems perfectly clean. Even the bed's made up. But you do notice stuffs at the doorway. And it's not mud. As you get down closer, I mean, it's feces. It's but and it's not, yeah, and it's like, it looks like, and it's a mixture of fresh, but it looks like there's been enough trail on it just at the very end. I mean, just like that, just the freaking threshold. But you know, there's enough to where it's still fresh, to where like if you get close enough, there's an odor, but there's enough built up on it, like clearly over a period of time.
Guys, I found poop.
Where?
Right here in this doorway. And then I take a picture of it.
With your old school Polaroid.
Yes.
I state the obvious and point out how it seems off that this place is like immaculate and clean, and there's just all of a sudden like street shit at the door.
Frank goes, yeah, that does kind of stand out. See anything else, Peter? Like, what do your Peter eyes see?
The game master said I found poop. That's Frank.
You notice the game master. Peter sees beyond what everyone else sees. You do notice that you kind of start to follow it, and I mean it's going down the rickety old stairway. It's met like 2 steps, and it's turning just to like it's freaking wood lattice graded. There's a crawl space underneath the trailer.
Hmm.
I'm not going in there.
I wouldn't ask you to, Peter. I wouldn't either. Park, Clancy, what's the next move here, guys?
I'm not fucking going down there. No, They go, well, yeah, unfortunately, we're probably going to have to go down there.
I mean, don't take it personally, but it's like, the the supernatural, like, you know, embodiments of nature's fury, I think, are a little more equipped to go down there than us at this point.
He goes, that is true. That is true. We'll go down there. We'll scout around a little bit. See what we can find. Okay?
All right. Do you want us to just, like, post up out here? Keep a lookout?
He goes, yeah, just, he goes, hold on just a second. And Clancy, he just, no grace whatsoever. He just lifts the friggin' grating and just goes underneath. And a few seconds later, he's like, yeah, it's, you'll be able to hear us if anything goes wrong. And we should be able to hear you. Just, if one of you guys would post just at the entrance, there seems to be, like a ladder underneath here going down deeper into the system.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, looks like we got ourselves a crawl space.
Oh, boy. All right.
All right. So, how's this going to be positioned? Who's going to be positioned closer to the hole?
Peter would like very much not to be that person.
I'll position myself there.
I was about to say, Jake, I imagine you still got your gun.
Yeah, I do.
Okay. We will turn this one off and start another session. Hold on a moment.